Matt, what's going on?
What's up, Matt?
Nothing much. How are you guys?
Man, we have been really diving into this story all day, Matt. Here's a little backstory. Now, I played center, and so obviously, as you know, there's a big difference between centers and long snappers, but my guy Ben here all day has been insinuating and trying to figure out the differences between centers and long snappers. Little did we know we were going to get to talk to the long snapper. Man, how long have you had this moniker, this title, Matt, of being the preeminent long snapper?
I started that title probably either my junior year or my sophomore year. That's when I started. I was the varsity long snapper for my school, and I have been ever since. And that's what I get called around school all the time, and that's me. That's who I am.
So your friends call you the long snapper? Do they call you Big Snap? Do they call you Deep Snap? I mean, is it just the long snapper?
They call me long snapper. They call me, my school is the Bear, so they call me Snapper Bear. I get all of that.
So, Matt, I want to ask you kind of the history of the tattoo. First of all, when did you get the tattoo?
I got the tattoo last Thursday.
And it was a 10-hour sitting? Did you do it in one sitting?
Yeah, I did all of it in one sitting.
Is this your first tattoo?
Correct.
You did a 10-hour tattoo, your first tattoo.
That's commitment.
Yes.
So, Matt, where did you come up with the idea? If people haven't seen it, obviously, it's all over the Twitter machine, but it's a picture of a guy snapping a football. It looks like you're wearing somewhat of a BYU jersey. How come you didn't put the actual BYU logo on there?
I didn't put the BYU logo on there to kind of keep it vague. I got the idea for the tattoo because I've had a couple friends that I've gone through this camp series called Rubio Long Snapping. It's run by a guy named Chris Rubio, and it's gotten me where I am. I mean, I love him. I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me and my family throughout the past 3 years of going to him. And my tattoo originally was supposed to be his logo in front of this backdrop, but my cousin, who is actually the tattoo artist, and he's a professional tattoo artist in New Mexico, which is where I got it, he decided that to draw an actual person on the tattoo.
Is that not you, Matt?
No, it's not me. It's just a random. It's like I think he went on Google, and Googled like long snappers, and he took a picture of a person that he found on there, and he just kind of tried to copy the face. It's not a self-portrait of me. Well,
Matt, and I obviously, I'm sure you're much better looking in real life here, but Matt, here's something that I don't know if people understand. And did you mean to do this? The guy is snapping the ball correctly, right? I mean, he's got his hands in the right place. Did you have to go over that with your cousin, and so he didn't put the hand placement in correctly?
He had it pretty close to the actual part on the first try, but we had to kind of go over it and change it a little bit.
Matt, I've got to ask you, okay, so you're the long snapper. Is that it? I mean, and I don't mean it as a disrespect to the position, but that's going to be your role. Do you not play a different position at your high school?
No, I did not. I played a little bit of center my freshman year, and then from then on, I've always just been the long snapper. I mean, I played a little bit on the offensive line this year because my school, actually, our team did not punt this year. Our new coach decided to come in. He wanted to run a little quarterback pooch punt thing, so we did that. So I played a little bit with the O-line. I mean, I had a great time there, but long snapping is who I am. It's what I love to do.
Well, so how many hours would you estimate, Matt, that you've worked on the craft that is long snapping?
Easily over 10,000.
10,000. Unbelievable. Yeah. So let me ask you this, Matt. We're talking to Matt Foley. He's a long snapper. You're going to be going to BYU in the fall. When did you realize you had a knack for this? Seriously, when did you realize that this was something you were good at?
Well, I started long snapping in middle school. I ended up taking over for our center when he got hurt at long snapper. I did it my freshman year. I was the backup. The starter got hurt again, so I filled in again. And then my sophomore year, going into summer football, I'm talking to a starter who is a starting long snapper and O-lineman who is actually on the football team at BYU but currently on a mission. I was like, do you actually want a long snap? Because everyone had told me that he didn't like to do it. And he's like, honestly, if you can do it, the job is yours. And so I ended up getting the starting spot at long snapper as a sophomore, and I just ran with it.
Matt, can I tell you the one piece of criticism that I've seen today that I have for your tattoo is that Homeboy's calves could have been way bigger on your tattoo. Did you have any sort of argument about how big you were going to make the dude's arms or legs?
Well, they in the original drawing, they were a little smaller too, and my cousin, when he did the tattoo, he made them a little bigger.
You know, I got this advice, Matt, many years ago when I was allegedly getting a photo of a scantily clad woman tattooed on me, and the artist said, if you're having any concerns about the size of maybe any of the body areas, that you should always go bigger so you don't regret it there. So I'm glad you at least stepped it up there in the calf department there early on.
Matt, I want to ask you, when did you realize this was going viral? Like, when did you realize, did you put up the photo and somebody took the photo, or when did you realize that this had really taken over?
Well, I put it up the next morning, and then after getting a lot of criticism on Twitter, I took it down. And then I don't remember when I knew that it had gone viral, but I mean, I knew that everyone in my city was talking about it. I think it would be when I saw it. I saw a few articles on it the next day when I got back into California.
What was the criticism? I mean, what do people care what you tattoo on your arm?
People didn't think it was the best drawing of a person.
Well, I thought, wait, are they, okay, wait a minute. Now, Matt, I've been made fun of for a lot of my tattoos. That's one thing that people like to do when they don't have tattoos, is look at somebody's tattoo and say, oh, man, the face could be better. This could be better, man. I tell you, don't ever let anybody tell you the quality of your tattoo. But so other than that, other than people trying to hate on the overall artistry, has there been any other issues? Because like I said, my only beef was you didn't make the guy have like 40-inch calves or something.
Yeah, that was people's pretty much only issue. I mean, a lot of people, I've always taken a lot of heat for being just a long snapper. I mean, we don't do a whole lot during practice, and we kind of just off with the kickers. But, that was probably played into part of it. But yeah, the only really heat I took from it was people not thinking it was the best rendition of a person. And also, it's like, I remember someone saying about like the tree in the background. The background is actually the back half of my high school stadium.
So it's accurate. It's got some meaning to it.
Yes.
10 hours for your first tattoo is also, that's a pretty big deal. I'm not sure, how many dudes in your high school even have a tattoo, but they probably got, 10 minutes of line work on their arm and want to tell you about it. So you got to easily be the most tatted up dude at your high school now.
We have a couple players that have tattoos, one that has quite a few, but I don't think anyone that's done a 10-hour sitting for a tattoo.
One more quick thing. I was dying. I know Ben has one more thing to you. Matt, I was dying to get a tattoo in high school. My parents wouldn't let me, and I couldn't forge their signature enough to get me my own tattoo. How the heck did you get? Are you 18, Matt, or did you get your mom to sign off on it? How did you do it? How did you trick your parents into it?
Yes, I'm 18, and my mom was not very excited about me to get a tattoo, but they trusted my cousin as the artist, and they knew I would be in good hands there, and they also reserved the right to approve the tattoo that I got.
Matt, how did you get hooked up with BYU? What's the backstory there?
So, up until January of my junior year, I had never had any interest in going to BYU. I'd always had interest in going to other places, other schools that were looking at me. And then I had a guy that went to my high school that's currently on the football team at BYU. He comes back from his mission, so we were talking in church one day, and then his mom told me that if I sent her or him my highlight videos, she would make sure he showed it to the coaches at BYU. And so I did, and then he did, and then they sent me an email saying, we'd love to recruit you. We're going to make sure you keep in touch. We want to follow you throughout your senior season. So I did, and then they came to my high school last May. Coach Tuwell, the inside linebackers coach, he came and he watched me snap, and he said he wants you to come up in June and snap for Coach Mendenhall and Coach Papinga, special teams coach, and they want to see you snap. So I did, and I snapped there, and then they said, we're going to decide, we want to decide during the season what we're going to do as far as a scholarship for a long snapper. So I'd never been to a BYU football game, so I took a visit for the Virginia game last September. I was there, loved it, fell in love with every aspect of BYU, the fans, the students, the team, just the atmosphere of being in LaVell Edwards Stadium. After the game, I was talking to Coach Papinga, special teams coach, and he said, you're our guy. We want to have you at BYU. We love you. We're going to decide here pretty soon what we're going to do as far as a scholarship. So we made my parents plan another visit for the UNLV game in November, the blackout game, which was really cold.
Yeah, it's cold out here, man.
Yeah, And so before that, I got a message on Twitter a couple days before the game. It was said, we want you to come to the football office a couple hours before the game. Coaches want to talk to you. So I did, and basically Coach Papinga sat me down, me and my parents, and told me, you know, we'd love to have you at BYU. We want you here for to walk on. We just don't have a scholarship for you yet. So we want you to come in. We know you can start as a true freshman, and if you do that, we'll get you a scholarship. And so I had known since June that BYU was where I wanted to go. It was the only school I really marketed myself to. It was where I wanted to go. And so BYU offered me, I want to say around 2:30 in the afternoon. I went down to a restaurant they have on campus at BYU. Me and my parents sat down, and I told them this is where I'm going to go to school. That's where I want to play football. That's where I want to get my degree from. Obviously, BYU is a great school. And so, I guess 3:30, a couple hours before the game, went to the locker room, met with Coach Tua, Coach Pinga, and told him, I'm taking your offer. I want to be a BYU Cougar. And the rest is history.
Well, Matt, not a lot of people handle going viral as well as you seem to be handling it. Congratulations on all the attention. More importantly, congratulations on finding a place to go play some football.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for joining us, man.
Matt.